why the Kansas City Chiefs will win the Super Bowl in 2019. Make sure to stay tuned to find out why. What's up, everybody? It's JT Sports back to you guys with another video. In this video, I'm continuing my series talking about why all 32 NFL teams will win the Super Bowl in 2019. And this video, I'm going to be talking about why the Kansas City Chiefs will win the Super Bowl in 2019. Before I begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I upload NFL videos and NFL content daily. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs, they can really win the Super Bowl in 2019. The first thing I want to talk about is the improvement that they made on the defense side of the ball. So you went ahead and they traded for defensive end Frank Clark from Seattle, gave him an extension. They also signed Tyrann Mathieu in free agency. So they had some interesting free agent signings and some offseason acquisitions that they made. So this defense, I think, is better than how it was last season. They also have guys on the defensive end. Let's start on the defensive end. They got Alex Okafor. They got Frank Clark. You got Emmanuel Ogbah, who I think is going to have a very solid impact for the Kansas City Chiefs team in 2019. So you have pass rushers. You got guys that can get after the passer. Then we look at the defensive tackle position. You got Chris Jones, who is really solid. You got Darren Nunati. And you got one of my favorite players coming out of last year's NFL draft, Khalen Saunders. Now, Khalen Saunders, this guy is an absolute monster. He's one of my biggest sleepers going into the 2019 NFL draft. And I was really excited when Kansas City drafted him because I think he's going to have an opportunity to make an impact for this Kansas City Chiefs defense right away. He can get after the passer. He can also stop the run as well. He had very good film in college. So this guy, Khalen Saunders, I think he's going to end up having a big rookie season for this Kansas City Chiefs defense in 2019. Then we look at the linebacker position. You got Dorian O'Daniel. You got Reggie Ragland. You got Darren Lee, who they got in a trade with the New York Jets. So this linebacking core looks to be very solid and very improved from how it was last season. You also got Anthony Hitchens there, who was pretty good as well. Then we look at the cornerback position. You got Bashaud Breeland and you got Travis Rohr there. Then at safety, you got Juan Thornhill, the rookie out of Virginia University, who a lot of people are really high on. He had a really good rookie minicamp and a very good OTAs for the Kansas City Chiefs as well. I'm also hearing that he's having a very solid training camp for Kansas City as well. And he's going to be on the other side next to Tyrann Mathieu. So, I mean, it doesn't get better than that. Tyrann Mathieu is one of the better safeties in the NFL when he's able to stay healthy. So, I mean, this Kansas City Chiefs defense, it looks on paper to be very improved from how it was last season. As we already know, last season, the Kansas City Chiefs defense, every time you had to put them on the field and ask them to win the game, they always ended up losing the game. I believe that almost every single game they lost last season, besides one, they lost because their defense was on the field and let the offense score the last game-winning touchdown. It seems like that every time I watch the Kansas City Chiefs game and their defense had to win the game, their defense couldn't do it. So I think the way that the defense looks on paper right now is a step in the right direction. And I think if the defense improves from how it was last season, we saw how far this Kansas City Chiefs team went last year in the playoffs. So imagine if the defense plays a lot better than how it did last season. This team can really win the Super Bowl this season. I mean, look, they nearly beat the Patriots last season. If their defense would have played a little bit better, they could have ended up beating the Patriots. Now, this defense, like I said earlier, if they take a step up in improvement from how they were last season, this defense, they can end up being a solid unit. They can end up being a top 15 unit, and top 15 should be good enough with how good and explosive this offense is to win the Super Bowl. Now we got to move on to the offense side of football. So you got Patrick Mahomes, the reigning NFL MVP, had over 50 touchdown passes last season, 12 interceptions, took the NFL by storm. A lot of people don't think he's going to have the season that he had last season this season. I think he's going to end up having a pretty solid season. I can see him throwing for over 40 touchdowns again this year. Tyreek Hill, he should be back he should be in that starting lineup. You're also going to have Sammy Watkins there. Sammy Watkins is a guy who I think really needs to step up this year for the Kansas City Chiefs, because this guy is one of the highest paid wide receivers in the NFL. Well, not one of the highest paid, but he's getting a lot of money, and he hasn't really lived up to the level of his contract the last couple of seasons. I don't even think he has eclipsed 1,000 yards receiving since he played for Buffalo, and I believe that was 2014. So Sammy Watkins is a guy who really needs to step up for this Kansas City Chiefs team. And I believe that he has potential to, because last season he showed flashes. I had him on my fantasy team last year. He has showed flashes of potential. The question with him is, can he be able to stay healthy? And then I think if he's able to stay healthy, then I think he can have a very productive 2019 season. But he's a guy who I need to see a lot more of this year. Then you also got Tyreek Hill. Like I said earlier, he's coming back. He's going to be in that starting lineup. He's one of the best deep threats in all the NFL. Pretty much unguardable when you try to guard him in man-to-man coverage. No way to stop him, really. So he's going to be in for a very big 2019 NFL season. Then you also got Mecole Hardman, rookie out of the University of Georgia. A lot of people think he's going to end up having a big impact in this Andy Reid offense. A lot of people think he could end up being the X factor for this Andy Reid offense because he's fast, he's quick, and it's going to be really interesting seeing how him and Patrick Mahomes connect. Then you also got Travis Kelce at the tight end position. He's the best tight end in all of football. Now that Rob Gronkowski is retired, so now that title belongs to Travis Kelce of being the best tight end in all of football. He was I think he was the most targeted tight end in all of football last year as well. So when you look at what Patrick Mahomes has to work with, he has a lot of weapons, a lot of targets at his disposal. Then at the halfback position, you had Damian Williams, who filled in very nicely when Kareem Hunt wasn't able to return for the Kansas City Chiefs last season. He filled in very nicely. Then you got Carlos Hyde. Carlos Hyde was a guy who had an okay season before he got traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars with the Cleveland Browns. The big thing with him was he had a lot of touchdowns, but the thing with him was his yards per carry. It wasn't really that good. It was below 4 yards per carry. So him and Damian Williams going to be interested in seeing who also starts at that halfback position. And Damian Williams, I'm expecting him to start. And if Damian Williams does end up starting at that halfback position, which I believe he will, how will they manage the snaps, and how would they manage the carries between those two? Then you also got Darren Thompson out of Utah State. I think he is the ultimate sleeper. I think he's going to be a big part of this Kansas City Chiefs offense this season, because Andy Reid loves guys who are able to do lots of things with the football. He loves guys who can do multiple things, and Darren Thompson's a guy who can not also run the ball, but he's also very good catching the ball out the back for that as well. He's probably the best halfback that they have on their roster when it comes to catching the football. I think he's a better pass catcher than Damian Williams and the Carlos Hyde. And then we got to look at the offensive line. I think Kansas City has one of the most underrated offensive lines in all of football. You got left tackle Eric Fisher. He's not elite, but he's a pretty solid left tackle, a pretty serviceable offensive tackle. You also got left guard Cameron Irvin. He's pretty solid. You got center Austin Reiter. Is going to be interesting because they lost their starting center in free agency to the Buffalo Bills. But Austin Reiter is a guy who started a few games for Kansas City last year, and the offense didn't really miss a bunch. So he's going to be a guy who's going to end up having to step up this year. Then you got right guard. Not really going to be able to pronounce that name, but they have a pretty solid right guard there. Then at right tackle, you have Mitchell Schwartz there. So this offensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs should be pretty solid. And this Kansas City Chiefs team, they were very, very close to winning the Super Bowl last year. Like I said, the biggest thing with them was their defense. I believe that almost nearly every game they lost because their defense wasn't able to stop the offense on one of the last drives in the games, and that's one of the reasons why they weren't able to beat the Patriots, because the Patriots in overtime, they got the ball, took it right down the field, and they won the game. So if this Kansas City Chiefs team wants to win the Super Bowl, they have to be able to get stops on the defensive side of the ball, which is something that they struggled in last season. They also got to be able to create turnovers as well. But I believe that this Kansas City Chiefs defense is going to be in a step in the right direction. They improved the linebacking core. They have a lot of talented linebackers. You got Dorian O'Daniel, you got Reggie Ragland, you got Darren Lee, you got Anthony Hitchens. So that's a pretty solid group of halfbacks there for the Kansas City Chiefs. The secondary should be improved. You got Juan Thornhill, you got Tyrann Mathieu. That's probably one of their biggest weaknesses was in that secondary. They also had the cornerback position as well. So this Kansas City Chiefs defense is going to be interesting. As long as this Kansas City Chiefs defense improves from how they were last season, I think they could end up being a middle-of-the-pack defense. And I think that's going to be good enough to win the Super Bowl when you consider how high-flying and high-explosive that Kansas City Chiefs offense is. So this is it for my reasons why the Kansas City Chiefs will win the Super Bowl in 2019. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section down below. Also, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content. Also, make sure to check out these other videos as well for more NFL videos and content on this channel. And make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And thanks for watching.